I got it.
LaToya Savage, founder of Worlds by LaToya, author and poet. Hold on, you recording him? He's recording. You can record and also take pictures. Okay. First, I want to thank you for sharing this space with me tonight. Tonight is very special because this is more than a poetry reading and book signing. It is a moment of becoming. These words were written in quiet places, moments of reflection, healing, growth, and truth. Some of these pieces come from seasons where life felt loud, uncertain, and heavy. Others were born from the peace that came when I finally learned how to listen beyond the noise. I want to simply invite you into my world for a little while. Some poems might make you reflect. Some might make you smile. Others might make you pause. My hope is not to tell you how to feel, but to create a space for you to feel yourself. Tonight I encourage you to listen, not just to the words, but to yourself as you hear them. So, let's begin with the first piece. When the road went quiet, part one. The fog was thick on the drive home, the kind that asks you to slow down, even when you think you know the road. Headlights blurred, streetlights softened, everything familiar looked unsure. I eased my foot off the gas, hands sturdy on the wheel, eyes open wider than usual. Not panic, just careful. Because somewhere between mile markers and memory, I realized I wasn't lost on the road. I was lost in my mind. I couldn't see my way clearly anymore. Couldn't see my future self. The woman everyone said was there, waiting. The fog outside felt honest. The fog inside felt heavy. Deep down, beneath the silence and the questions, I wish I could understand why. Everything ahead of me looked so distant. I pulled into the driveway and sat longer than usual. Engine humming, fog still clinging to the glass, like it didn't want to let me go yet. That's when I looked up into the rearview mirror. First, it was just my face, tired around the eyes, familiar. Then the fog crept across the mirror, slowly, not all at once, as if it had been waiting for permission. Words began to appear, not spoken, not shouting, but written. Like they always lived there. Not enough, too much, behind, wrong. Each word softened my reflection, blurred the edges of who I thought I was, until I could barely see myself anymore. I stared anyway, because somewhere beneath the glass, beneath the fog and the barred voices, I knew this is where my real falling began. Alright. So I have a question for everyone. You don't have to raise your hands or anything. But won't do that. has doubt, fear, discouragement, self-sabotage, loneliness, disrespect, comparison, unworthiness been taking up too much space in your life. Mm. And this next piece is for you. And me too. Eviction notice. As I sat looking out the window, she arrived. That familiar voice, wearing my fears like perfume. You can't do this. No one cares. You're wasting your time. Who wants to hear what you have to say? I closed my eyes and breathed past her. Deep. Slow. When I opened, I stood up from that chair of doubt. I've sat there before, too many times. But this time, this is the last time. I walked to the mirror to meet my own eyes, sturdy now, unapologetic. You will not win this time, or any other time, because I can do this. I don't need anyone else to care because I care. I'm not wasting time. I'm gaining time. Time with myself. I don't need anyone to listen because I hear me. I see me. My words matter. Yours no longer does. I leaned closer to the mirror, close enough to feel my own breath, and spoke the truth out loud. Get out doubt. Get out fear. Get out discouragement. Get out self-sabotage. Get out loneliness. Get out comparison. Get out unworthiness. I'm taking over now. You're no longer welcome. I feel lighter. The noise is quiet. And in that quiet, we have to listen. What the quiet said. I'm not going to sit down. I sat outside while the leaves let go of the trees, not in fear, not in anger, but because the seasons whispered now. The wind was cold and sharp, moving stories from one corner of the earth to another, as reminding us that nothing is supposed to stay still. And I wondered, how can we realize that, witness that, and not understand? We're here for a reason. We cut trees down like they don't remember us, like they don't hold families in their branches, songs in their bark, homes we never ask permission to disturb. We call ourselves humans, as if it gives us the right to destroy what we don't own. Then we look in the sky in disbelief when hurricanes arrive angry, when thunder speaks back, when the earth shifts under our feet and reminds us she has a voice too. What is the difference between destruction done by our hands and destruction done by nature? Respect, I've learned, is not something you take. It is something you earn from listening. So, I sat with the wind. I sat with the animals. I sat with the quiet. And they spoke. Not loudly. Not in words meant to scare. But in warning, wrapped in wisdom. The kind you only hear when you stop trying to control everything. I'm saying that again because I need to hear it too. The kind you only hear when you stop trying to control everything and finally choose to listen. The wind didn't shout. She leaned close and said, pay attention. This isn't punishment. This is a response. And this time, I heard her. It is something to sit with. Not just how we treat ourselves or treat others, but how we move through everything around us. This next piece is part 2 from the beginning. It's about what opens when the fog no longer leads. The open road. The fog is gone now. Not because it never existed, but because I learned how to move through it without losing myself. The road stretched wide in front of me, clear enough to see my hands on the wheel, sturdy enough to trust where I'm headed. I know who I am, not the version shaped by voices that mistook access for love or noise for truth. Not the woman who learned to shrink to survive the ride. This one stands upright. I understand now. The tests will come. They always do. But they don't confuse me anymore. I no longer explain my work to those who refuse to see it. No longer wait for permission to take up space in my own life. I know what I bring. I know what I won't carry again. The road is open because I am. And I move forward, not chasing anything, not proving anything, just choosing myself with every mile. I began at the bottom of the hill, not lost, just listening. With every poem, I took a step forward, sometimes unsure, sometimes tired, but always moving. They told me the light could only be reached with permission, with guidance, with someone else leading the way. But this journey asked for something different. I learned to sit with my becoming, to hear what the wind had been saying all along, to face what frightened me, and keep walking anyway. The light did not arrive as rescue. It came as recognition. I did the work myself, piece by piece, word by word, until I could stand fully in my becoming. This is not a story of escape. It's a return. Can everyone close their eyes? Now a deep breath. Now imagine, you can sit right there and close your eyes. Now imagine you're standing somewhere quiet. No noise, no rush, just you and the sound of your own breath. And then you see it, a path. Not loud, not bright, just there, waiting. You take one step and the ground feels soft beneath your feet. The trees don't move away from you, they lean in, like they already know your name. And as you walk, you remember something. Something simple. Something true. The forest shows different things to different eyes. So whatever you see, whatever you feel, that's your path. And it's okay to take your time because the path will always wait for you. Story. I'm going to read just a little paragraph on it. One winter night, Beauty held Mama C's hand as her breathing thinned like thread slipping through a needle. Beauty whispered songs, but her voice broke around the words. Mama C opened her eyes and placed her warm, weak hand against Beauty's cheek. You learned peace. Now, learn purpose. Then she rested. This one is one of the hardest books that I've had to write because it's about my mom and I miss her. So I'm talking to mom for a second. Mom, I wish you were here to witness and sit beside me physically. But I know one thing for sure. Your beautiful spirit is here. Saying, toy, you handled that. Now go and handle the other ones. I wish you and I love you. Well, I do have a question. What is peace teaching you about your purpose? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Those words were born from quiet places, storms, from healing, from the moments when I had to learn to trust my own voice. Sharing them out loud and having you sit with me in this space means more than words hope is that somewhere in tonight's pieces, you found a reflection of your own path, your own becoming, or even just a moment to breathe. This is only the beginning. There is still more quiet to listen to, more stories to tell, and more worlds to hold. Ah, more worlds waiting to unfold. And if tonight's journey spoke something to you, I invite you to my website for a sneak peek into the Poetic Sanctuary Season 2, The Quiet, where the whispers continue. While you're there, join the reader circle so you don't miss what unfolds next. Thank you for allowing me to share a piece of my heart, my healing, and my words with you. And I also want to give a special thank you to my family, my co-workers, and the parents and students who continue to support me. Your presence, whether you're here tonight or cheering me on from afar, means more than you know. Please stay and talk with me when you're praying. I'd love to hear from you. I'll be here. They have the boxes back there. So if you want me to sign a personal message, I'm more than happy to do that. And thank you for coming. And congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Now I gotta wait on my daddy so I can do this all over again.